Hey guys, sending you guys a hopefully short and quick video. I wanted to give you guys a better idea of what I'm looking for in the weekly reviews from each and every one of you. I'm a firm believer that if we can improve the communication process, we can improve your progress as an athlete. So I try to lay everything out each week, what I need from you, the general, give me 48 hours between when you send me your review and when you need your next week of programming. Be sure and reply to the email that I sent you with your programming on it. That way it ensures that it does actually get into my email inbox. Sometimes there are a little bit of issues here and there. What I need from you is maybe a little more feedback as to, I don't know, what I'm looking at, or I want to make sure that I'm looking at the correct things whenever I'm actually seeing your review on the screen. So I'm going to switch over to my phone here and give you guys a little example, pretend I'm a client for a minute, show you my videos for the week, and then kind of give you an idea on what I need from you and what I'll return back. Hey Clint, this is my weekly review. You'll have to excuse me. I've got half the kids are asleep and the other half are running around. We've got Hotel Transylvania on the TV going, so if you hear any cool TV shows in the background, you just have to excuse me. I apologize right off the bat. My video is a little bit longer than 3 minutes this week, but I did a lot this week. There's some stuff that I want you to look at, and we covered a lot of extra stuff last week, so I know it's a couple of extra minutes. I really appreciate it. Husafell Stone, I'm looking at the videos over here. Husafell Stone is feeling much better. I like adding the 5 kilograms every week and continue to working on the endurance. It's not overwhelming. It's a lot of work, and it's allowing me to make better progress over time. I got to the super yoke, and I just had this crick in my back. It's that same spot in my back that's been bothering me off and on for a year. I'm not for sure exactly what I did, but as I picked it up, it's just a bad spot in my back, and I set it down immediately. I didn't push. Went to the Sandbags. To be honest, it was so freaking hot. It was above 145, so could have been 165, could have been 147, I don't know, but it was above 145 degrees outside, and my head was spinning by the time I got here. I wasn't feeling real great anyway, but I got all the bags done. They were just a little bit slower than usual. Sandbag log press, 120 kilograms. The program said one with the option to go for a second. The second one was well over my head. I think I was just a little bit worn by the time I got to this point. But the second rep got well over my head. I was really excited about it. If you have any ideas on what I'm doing wrong, that would be great. Again, I was dead tired by this point. Deadlifts, I took your advice and just did the minimum, deloaded, and with the plan to come back. I'm still beat up a little bit from the 808 box squat last week through my shoulders and biceps. Moving on, the front-loaded SS yoke bar good mornings were absolutely killer. I absolutely love having those at the beginning. I think I can make some progress on those. Let me know if I'm doing those correctly, because they feel good but strange. They feel like a really messed up squat and a messed up good morning at the same time. Front-loaded SS yoke bar box squats with my briefs. This was a deload week, a builder week. I've been sick, I've been in the hospital, so you're programming me to do something really light. Having some pain with my right knee a little bit. It hurt the same with 1 plate as it did with 3 plates. The front-loaded bands felt great. I don't know if that set my knees off just a little bit, but if you see something going on, just let me know. The weight felt fine. Everything was doable. The deadlift with bands, I'm not good at those, but I really enjoy them. I think the longer bands are easier for me, but the short bands were, it's a challenge, and I like them. I was starting to pass out when I went down for the first rep, so I was really slow and pedestrian for all the others after that. So I left the glute ham raises, the shoulder presses, and the tricep work on there as well. The bench press with the doubled light bands, I measured those out. They were 150 pounds at the top, maybe a little bit more than that to kind of max my scale out. Felt really good. Triceps were really fried. My pec muscles were fried, shoulders were fried, but my tendons didn't hurt. I really enjoy this. It's a great challenge. I only included my last set with 1 plate, my last set with 2 plates on there for you to look at in case you see anything. Inclines, I was nice and sore and beat up, and honestly everything just felt off on the inclines. So if you see something there, let me know. Dips, I went through the motions. It's just an, as the accessory, I did it what the program called for anyway. So I kept everything else on the shoulders, biceps, triceps. I feel good. I feel recovered. I was sick earlier this week, but I feel much better. I feel 80% right now. So if you want to push me next week, push me. I'm ready to go. Once again, I appreciate it. Thanks, Clint.
Yeah. Come on, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Nice and quick. Drop. Go. Steady pick up. Oh, nice. Come on, sit down, sit down. All the way. That's right, grab it. All the way up. Come on. Get it.
Up.
Get it.
Oh, nice. Come on. Push it up.
Just
Push
be
it up.
careful.
Push it up.
You got it. Nice.
So you just want to.
Get it. Come on. Come on. Up.
Nice. Yeah.
Hips, come on. Yeah. Easy. Get it. Easy. Go. I'll live with that. That's good. Easy.
right, Clint, I'm here. I'm looking at your review. The Husafell stone, I really like your work on this. I do think that if we can just add 5 kilograms a week on that Husafell stone carry and keep working on your distance, as soon as we get to something that's hard, I think we can drop 20 kilograms out of it and make it a 150-foot run instead of a 100-foot run. And I think we'll continue to make some progress there. But, let's keep working on the low back and hamstrings and the cardio portion of this without it being mentally stressful. Don't forget, we're doing it at the beginning of the training session, also as a warm-up to get the blood flowing. I do want you to decrease your caffeine intake, your pre-workout intake, and I think that if we can continue to increase your, let's say your first exercise of the day and get you going that way, I think we can do just that. I think we can kill several birds with one event. As far as your back and the super yoke, I think it's really, really odd that that you don't have problems on farmers or frame, but you're having problems on the super yoke. I have some ideas, and I really think that I want you to do a lot of, I'll work on it this week. I'll try to get you a video sent this week. It'll be just a really cheap video, but a video of you doing a bunch of side ab work with bands, dumbbells, things of that nature. I have a feeling there could be something going on with an oblique somewhere, and I don't mean full over on the side oblique. It could be anything that's connected anywhere. I would love to see you where you're sitting while you're working, where you're sitting at home, and I would like to see you change chairs, because if you're having this problem for long term, it's probably something that you're doing for long periods of time. But I have some ideas. We're going to work on it. But you can always do, if yoke is not going well, it's not in a contest anytime soon. So we can switch over to frame. We can switch over to farmers. You've got a great grip. It's not going to matter. I think we can still build with those events. Sandbag looks fine. I can tell you were tired. Your face was purple. Great job on that. The log, great job. I've really been thinking that we can change your pressing around a little bit. I think the more work that we can do on log, I think you need more muscle. And I think if we can give you a little bit more, some more opportunities to do some more stuff with log in your hands without setting your biceps on fire, I think we can change around your Friday training session and add a little bit more incline work in. I have some ideas. We'll see if we can get it put into place with this next week's of programming. But you let me know if it's changed too much. I don't want you in the gym too long, and I don't want you unhappy with the changes in your programming. Your deadlift looked fine. I could definitely tell you were not there, but I also programmed you for a deload. The SS yoke bar good mornings, it's kind of a squat good morning. I've been doing these for a little while now, and I like them quite a bit as a warm-up as well. What I try to look at when I come down with the SS yoke bar, I try to get the handles so they're pretty much in line with my knees. So if my shins are vertical and the handles are in line with my knees, that means I'm kind of bent over a little bit instead of arched up and sitting back like you would be with a box squat with the SS yoke bar. So I think what you're doing is fine. Once again, we look for your reactive speed off of the box. And there are a bunch of different ways you can do this. I think that what you're doing is great. We're going to continue to build on them with sets of 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s. And if those feel great, we can take some singles after that if we know they're going to be a builder without being a herder. As far as your knee bothering you on the box squats, could be the way you have your briefs on, to be honest. I'd like to know if they hurt when you put your briefs on. Those briefs could be turning your legs in a little bit. I'm watching your right knee, and your right knee does cave in a little bit. Could be a couple of different things. Could mean, what I want you to do is I want you to bring both feet in closer together, about an inch or two each side. Bring them both in together. That way you should be able to push your knees out a little bit more. If you cannot, you may have some sort of mobility issue or flexibility issue in the hip socket. Just laying on your back, rolling your knees around, twisting your hips around. Make sure the hips can roll in every direction. Do some of the old karate ninja splits. Hands on the floor and just legs straight out and just go down as far as you can. See if that opens up your hips a little bit. You can do that for a few seconds before you start your box squatting. If that doesn't fix it, we've got to work on your bad girls. Put some bands in a figure 8 around your knees. Sit down in a chair at home or the box and just push those bands out with your knees. Normally 4 to 5 sets of 20-25 reps will set those hips on fire. You may just be weak. I know that you can move a lot of weight, but you may just be weak. And you know what? That may be tied in with your back pain as well. Usually everything's connected. So we've got options. I will put some things on your programming. The box squats look fine. The deadlifts against bands, yeah, you definitely were not your normal self there, but that's fine. You got the work done. You weren't on a clock. That's still 80% for 5 after everything else, and you've been sick. Glute ham raises, keep doing the glute ham raises with a tire. I want you to try them also with a medicine ball, with a Swiss ball. If you can get if you have a large diameter, 5 kilogram, 10 pound plate, 10 kilogram plate, something like that, 25 pound, something that's big and rubber. Try using different diameter stuff as well. We're trying to spread your body out. See if we can take your back out of the lift and use more hamstrings. Bench press looks solid. If you think we can do more work with the heavier band tension, we'll try it. As long as you don't get beat up. What you got, buddy? Your incline bench did not look bad. If you're still beat up and sore a little bit, your range of motion is absolutely ridiculous. But I think most deadlifters, good deadlifters, are going to have issues with range of motion on inclines. As long as you're not having pain, you're going down a little bit twisted. I'd like to see what your warm-ups look like. Just type out, what sets, reps, percentage, weights even, that you use on your warm-ups there, or were you completely warmed up. But you're making great progress. Don't forget, you're using a plate more per side than you were using a few months ago. So you're making a lot of progress. And just like the dips, you don't have to kill yourselves on dips and inclines. We're going to use those to make long-term progress. The idea is not to kill yourself on either one of those. The shoulder presses with dumbbells, it's great to see you back doing those. It means the tendonitis feels great. We're going to continue to make short progress on that. You're using the 50s here. I'd like to see us be able to do 3 sets of 15 with the 70s. I think this got to be a big goal for you sometime soon. Instead of 3 sets of 15 with the 50s or 55s that you've got going on here, and you move that to the 70s. I think you're capable of doing it, but it's all going to depend on how hard you push yourself on the exercises before that. Biceps look great. It's more important that you just knock out the 2 or 3 sets per week with dumbbells than it is that you absolutely kill yourself with intensity or weight on those. Triceps, that's a big one right here at the end. I want you to keep doing what I asked you to last week. On the triceps, make sure that your hands open up at the end. Keep using that spud ink rope. And when you get out to the end, I want you to touch the wall with your fingers. I'm telling you, it's going to make a huge difference on the pressure that you're feeling on your elbows. So keep opening those hands at the end. If you keep squeezing, you're going to continue to have pain in your elbows. If you open your hand, that's the brilliance of that spud ink ab strap. Using it for triceps, if you use it correctly, you can absolutely take the pressure off your elbows. Everything looks great. I'd love to see what your nutrition's like. Let me know more about what your recovery is like, what your soreness is, how you're feeling physically and mentally. Tell you what, man, just give me a couple of hours to sit down here and finish your programming. I've got everything else in your notes. Give me a little bit. I'll get your new week of programming out to you here in just a minute. All right, guys, I hope this helped give you a little bit more clarification on what I'm looking for you each and every week with your weekly review. This is kind of what I would like to see happen with everyone as often as possible, and I think it's the best way that I can give you guys the best service possible. And as always, if you have suggestions, throw them my way. Thanks, guys.